welcome to my project ideas. And I am here with a very exciting project on Web3 integration with SAP. So before discussing about what is Web3, it's just something I want you to know that this particular project is not to make you understand entire concept of Web3 or nuances of Web3. This project will focus upon how to use Web3 and use for a business application development. So still I will give you a brief. This particular video will be based upon travel booking platform, but we'll be using SAP and Web3 for the development. So basics of Web3 is like it's an idea where everything that is on internet. So we have different versions of internet. The first version came in 90s where the focus was all on communication, like sending email and sending messages. That was the focus initially, and sharing information in form of data. Then it came the 2000 boom where domain name booking started and every business wanted to be online. So it was more focused on the user experience, the web 2.0. Later by the late 2020s, or you can say in the initial part of 2014 to 2020, people understood that there is a lot of things that is going on in market and where the data is being owned by the big organizations like Google and Facebook, and people wanted to save these data on their own personal privacy, and also use a lot of different technology called blockchain to authenticate those transactions. So this particular use case is something that will be built on the same concept. So the concept is based on decentralization, blockchain technologies, and token-based economics. So it's like that your data will be decentralized. Your data will be not owned by one particular platform. We'll be using blockchain technologies for each and entire process. And the economics, where the transaction of money will take place using token-based transactions. So if I go bit by bit, then we'll build a travel booking platform. So if you see a travel booking platform online, you might see a lot of are there, and multiple agencies are there. So who is the owner ultimately? The travel booking platform is the owner. So he or she will own the entire content, entire data, entire transactions. There will be no power to the user. There will be no power to the agency. So it's like agency might feel bad, like the owner of the travel booking platform might do something wrong with the agency, right? And also user will be not very much confident like how much this agency is genuine. So both is like not having a very happy situation here. So here we'll bring the blockchain technologies to make things genuine. Then we have something called blockchain contracts, where every particular data will be saved, every transaction will be saved, and user can buy these all the packages that the agency will be uploading via tokens, and then admin can view all transactions and approve packages. We'll go into process flow. So we have two scenarios, and we'll be covering only one scenario in this particular video. So the scenario number one is something we will cover. Suppose there are packages already approved and user can see and book a package. So user can book a package is the first step, and the package will go into blockchain contract, and the agency can receive payment from admin once the travel is completed, something like that. And scenario two is like where agency uploads a package. The package is booked on blockchain contract, and admin approves the package and is now visible to the user for booking. So it's simple flow. It's a flow that actually every other agencies are using, every other platform using, because there is a platform where suppose the agency can register, create packages, and admin approves, right? And then users come and view those packages, contact admin or contact the agency, book it out. The only thing is that we have something called blockchain contract in between, and that's it. So we'll jump to the actual platform. So it's a very dummy platform. So suppose we have multiple tour options here, and what we'll do is like we'll click on buy option. So once we click on buy, so you see booking London tour will start, and something opens up like MetaMask. This is something we have integrated. That's our gateway to this Web3 portal, and we can confirm the transaction. The same transaction we can see over here. So once we receive the success message, it takes around 30 seconds to process the transactions. So we'll wait for 30 seconds, and once we receive the same, then we'll just fetch the latest transactions, and we'll see the same status over here. Yeah, booking successful, and you got a transaction receipt, and you got the data. So this is the latest one transaction has. So ultimately, if you see, we are able to fetch the transactions. When we can see, we have also other portals where agency can register, admin can see the transactions, approve agencies. So this will be something, this portal will be actually covering the entire scenario. So to again give you basic, like what exactly happened right now. Something happened, and we were able to book something. We were able to view the transactions. But actually, what was happening behind it? What is something MetaMask is opening up here, and how exactly we have developed it? This is something we are going to discuss right now. But before doing any development, so what I want you to understand is like SAP inbuilt has no gateway to Web3 portals. So we will have to use third party for that. So here we'll be using two different things. One will be actually for doing transactions and all. So that is called MetaMask. We have a plugin over here, and we have actually logged in over here. And second thing will be something called this ether scan, where from where we'll be actually fetching all the transactions. Because ultimately, if we fetch the transaction details directly from blockchain, it will get tons and tons of transactions, because every second millions of transactions are happening all across the globe. So there is no way to get your transaction from that place. So we have something called ether scan in between, where you push your transaction and get your transaction details. So it will keep a record of everything based on your transaction. So for that, what we do is two things. We create API keys, so that we get the API and integrate on our platform. And then we also verify our address, in which in this scenario we have not yet. But you add your address. This address you will get from MetaMask, and this is the address. Copy to clipboard, and this you can add here and get it approved. Okay. So this is a platform that you want to actually visit and register and get some keys from here, right? And then you have to create an account of MetaMask. So you can just go on metamask.io/download, and you will open up this platform, and it will ask you to install the MetaMask for Chrome. So in our app also we have built, in case you do not have the MetaMask already in place, it will just when you click it out, it will open up a pop-up. It will say you do not have the MetaMask integration, and you have to click and go to this particular option and download it out. We do not have, suppose we do not have MetaMask installed. So what will happen? So to check that, what I will do, I will just remove this MetaMask itself. So for that, I have to go to all extension and remove the MetaMask, right? Don't give any reason, and just come back and express it out. And now MetaMask is not installed. In this particular use case, what will happen is like when I will click on buy, I will see this message that click here to install MetaMask. And if I try to click, it will open up this particular option, right, to install MetaMask. I will click here. I will add to Chrome extension, and it will take some time to install. It is added now. So once it is added, then it will ask to start creating an account. So you can create an account, or you can import an existing wallet. And I have 12 phrase, I have 15 phrase, 24 phrase. You do not want to do that, so then you can go back. No thanks. You can go back, and you can create a new wallet, right? You can click on I agree and put some password over here. Fine. So if you see now we have installed this MetaMask over here, and if I try to refresh, and I will also pin it out. See, since it is installed, it will start automatically getting the account, right? Then click on next, start connecting, and it is connected. So if you see, if now you try to do buy, it will not give that error. But also it will not work because you do not have any money, right? You do not have any money. We are not able to estimate the gas. So your gas is the money. So since you do not have money, what you will do, you'll close it out. We'll go to Ethereum. We'll switch the main account to test account, test network. Click on this Sepolia, and you will get a particular link, right? So yes. So now you have your account ready. So now you can enter your Sepolia account here and click on receive. So once you receive your gas, so ultimately what you can do is like you can start clicking on buying process and proceed with the next steps. Once you get a token, you will see that amount appearing over here. So it is very important to have your account in place. It's very important to have some money or some tokens in your account. And the third thing is you should have configuration of Etherscan. So now the prerequisites are in place. So you have created MetaMask, you have created the Etherscan, you have received some amount for the MetaMask, and you have two things in place. It's like the your address in place and also your API keys in place. Then we can actually jump into the development part. So I hope you have understood the use case at least, because without understanding the use case, this entire development will be something not helpful for you. So the only thing you need to understand over here is like it is the same platform. You can build very beautiful platform over here, but the transactions and whatever you are doing here will not take place via your normal way of booking something in your database and not getting any detail from database. It's not have anything from payment gateways and all. So it will be all based on this blockchain. That's the thing. And how exactly this is Web3? Because you might say that I can do all bookings in blockchain and I can receive all the amount in blockchain. Then how exactly this is Web3? So it is Web3 because we are also saving the information of these packages on the blockchain. We are saving the transactions in the blockchain, and we have some power to admin which is also for blockchain approvals. So it's like entire data on the portal is on blockchain. So it means your data is not coming from a single database. It means ultimately the agencies can register here, and they do not want their data to be saved in your database. So ultimately you have to accept it. And again, user will come here and user will have the same power. And again, user will not be doing any transactions via your portal, but doing via their blockchain. And they will be very happy because they know that ultimately their uh, amount will not be lost because they have a proof for that, right? Because it's like the amount will be processed only if the agency does the entire job, something like that. So after covering these use cases, I will jump into the coding part. So I have actually only four. So I have actually only four files where I am adding changes. The very first file is index file where I have added just one line of script, and this script is just to interact with the Web3 scripts files, right? And once you are done with that, we have also created a web3.js file. So this is the important file. We'll discuss it later on, and just we'll jump to the view part. So view is a very simple view, and with having a single page, and it has multiple icon tabs bar at the top. So four are there, and in each tab we have defined something. So this is a dummy form. This has two buttons. This is a table, and this is also having a lot of tabs. And in each tab you have some data and the Y button. So the same thing you can see here, icon tab filter. Inside the first one, we have multiple icon tabs, right? and each icon tab will have a key, a text, a detailed description, and a buy button, right? And once it ends, we have something for agency where on click you have seen a simple form, the big form over here, right? And a button to submit the form. And for admin, we have two buttons only to approve agencies, to view transactions. And at the end, we have a transaction tab where we have the key as transactions and a button to fetch latest transaction and a table to see all our previous transactions. Fine. So now we can see that we already have all the view code in the place. So now we'll jump to the controller part. So in the controller, we have on init, which we do not need. And we have something called on after rendering where we are doing some initialization. So this Web3 service is actually coming from a Web3 service JS page. This is inside this JS folder. That's why it's named like this. And inside it, if you see in init part, there is a promise written over here and a script is written here. So ultimately the same script that we have entered into our HTML file, we are just planning to load it, because without being loaded we cannot use any of the Web3 functions, right? And once it is loaded, then what we do is like we check if it is loaded or not, like the window.ethereum. Window.ethereum is loaded only when the MetaMask is in place. If it is not in place, it will be undefined. It means uh, it is undefined, right? And undefined means you do not have the MetaMask in place. So if I come back over to home page, controller over here, and we'll see one of the place like on buy package. Suppose if it fails and yeah, so if you see if something fails over here, then you get a toast or whatever the error message is. And in case MetaMask is not installed, we are showing a box saying click here to install MetaMask, and a link and a blank target so that it can open a new page. And ultimately the same thing is shown in the message box. Fine. So if I go back now, so this scenario is covered. In case there might be a scenario where the browser itself cannot use MetaMask, so that's why we have also given this option where we cannot even get undefined for Web3. Suppose we do not get like undefined, we get an object over here. So what it will do is like it will start creating an object for Web3 using new Web3 Windows or Ethereum, and we'll save in a global object so that we can use it later on. And we'll call something dot enable where we'll request account access, because ultimately we'll need to get the account access, right? And in case we get the account access, we also might need to perform some operations. So for that also we have requested some method called Ethereum request accounts. So this particular request is done only to do further access queries. So even this can be removed as of now, because we are not performing any further queries apart from sending the Ethereums. So, but that's the description of the code. So if I go back and come back to our controller file, so after the rendering part, we have something for the tab select. So when each tab is selected, what exactly will happen? So ultimately here we are just getting the key, and accordingly we are doing the operations. In case we are getting the key as transactions, in that use case we are fetching the transaction. Otherwise we have something called we get the key and we perform this selection of that particular tab. So we are doing the routing thing. You see, that's the only thing we are doing. Fine. And suppose we are clicking on this on tab select and fetching all the transactions, right? In that use case, what is happening is like it's calling this thing, this Web3 service, and getting all the transactions. So Web3 service is actually our JS page, and it is calling get transactions. So we'll go to get transactions now, get transaction. So you see we have this account. This account is nothing else but the MetaMask key, the Etherscan API key. If you remember, I told you that we have to fetch the API key from there. API URL we are creating using these both, this particular URL, and then just doing a single AJAX call, fetching the URL data. And in case it fails, suppose it might fail, right? Or it might not fail also. In both cases, what we are doing, we are preparing some set of data. If you see, if it in case it works, then we are saving the hash transaction here, from transaction here to transaction here, everything we are saving it out here, and what amount exactly it is. And in case it is not like working, then also we are saving some data. We are saving the data in the, yeah. So okay, so I will go back to controller, and the main function that we are doing here is on buy package, right? So when we click on buy package, what exactly happens is like we get the package ID, because there are multiple packages, and from that we get the exactly the package name. So based on the ID, we get which exactly is matching our particular ID, and we get the package name, Sydney tour the tour, which exact tour it is. Fine. And once it is done, then we showcase a toast message that booking is in place, and then we start doing the actual booking part. So what we do is like we have something called book travel item call. So if I go back here, you see book travel item, and it is also checking if our Ethereum account is there. And in case it is there, it is preparing a set of data. It is like from where we are transferring that amount, and to which particular account we are transferring the account, and then some set of data. It's like booking travel item, which item we are saving, which type of data it is, and actually we can put whatever we want here. So it's like the package details being put here, and in case it is sent, we showcase the success message in the URL, right? Right, and also we are saving this transaction in a local JSON, so that in case we do not get any data from Etherscan, still we have some data in our local, at least to showcase here. But it can be saved in the log table of the database, whatever you're using, so that you do not have to hit Etherscan for every transaction. Okay, so if I go back, so ultimately what it does, it shows booking successful after these the particular success happens, and also in case it fails, then it shows the error message, right? So that's the thing that is happening over here. And one more thing, like once it is done, then also we are receiving some details, right? Like what exactly is the transaction ID and all. So that is also something you can see. Whatever transaction hash we are getting, we get it here and we showcase it here. Yeah, so apart from that, we have multiple other functions like on submit agency details, which we do not plan to showcase. When you save some data here, it will also sit in blockchain. We do not want to showcase that particular data here, but I believe we have covered different scenarios. And in case you have any doubt, any issue, you can always drop your message in the comment section. We will be very happy to help. Thank you.